it away. Brantley was in the leadoff spot early in the season, and it was just a situation where they felt like he might have been thinking too much about leading off, trying to take too many pitches. They believe that he's much more comfortable hitting down in the order with a much more aggressive approach.
Another one of those players that sees a lot of pitches and tries to work count. He's very tough to strike out. In fact, he's the second toughest batter in the American League to strike out. So maybe that is a little bit better down in the lineup when you've got runners on base. Chance to drive in some runs. You don't want a guy up there with a hole in his swing.
Brantley with a single tonight continues a hot streak that started a couple of weeks ago. He's at 340 with a couple of home runs and 9 RBIs over the last 2 weeks. He fouls it right at home plate. Second half of this baseball season is going to be very interesting. Mentioned all the teams in contention for a playoff berth, and the Indians, they were in good shape last year in first place, and then had a disappointing end to their season. Went 31-40 second half of the season and fell out of contention. Base hit past Laurie down the left field line. Santana is headed for third. Davis goes to second, and it's offline, and Brantley is into second with a double. Second and third, 1 out. First game of the second half when you look ahead to the Blue Jays schedule in the second half. 76 games remaining. They have 2 more home games than road games, but look at the next line. Games against clubs that are 500 or better. 70 of the 76 games on the remaining portion of the schedule against teams with a 500 record or better, and 44 games against the East.
Ouch. Just 2 3-game series against the Seattle Mariners. Those are the 6 games that John Farrell's team have against a team that is under 500. The Indians, on the other half, you're just talking about them trying to get it going in the second half. They have the second easiest schedule in the American League.
33 games against teams with a 500 or better record. Just 33 games in their remaining schedule. So they do have an easy schedule. But you still have to perform consistently. But most of the players in that dugout behind Manny Acta believe that what they learned last year about themselves is you can't sit back when you're in first place. You got to keep grinding.
They were also talking about what they went through last year. It's going to help them this year. Take a little bit of the pressure off of this team in the second half.
Lou Marson, the catcher, with runners at second and third, 1 out. Little flare that'll slice into foul ground. Marson hitting with runners in scoring position, just a .214 average.
You know, and the way that Justin Masterson is throwing tonight, you got 2 strikes, just 1 out. Now Farrell's got the infield playing back. If they could come in on this pitch, I think this would be a good time to bring the infield in. 2 strikes on the pitch,
and here they come. Kelly Johnson has crept in at second. Escobar still back at short.
And all that has to do is a couple of factors. You don't have a lot of speed at third base in Santana. You've got a hitter at Marson who right now is being very defensive against Romero. You've got Ricky with a great curveball working, and you've got Justin Masterson throwing the heck out of the baseball tonight.
And Brian Butterfield always going back to those defensive charts, making sure that all of his ducks are in a row. He just moved the infield. The right side has come in. Escobar and Laurie remain back on the left side.
Even if there's a ball, it's hit sharply to Brett Laurie at third base. Even though he is back, I think he'll have a chance to get that runner at home.
These are the spray charts that are posted for the defense in Blue Jays dugout, where they should be on each individual hitter against left-handed pitching. And that's a chart put together by years of matchups, and you see the line drives and the spray charts wherever those balls are hit against left-handed pitching, so they will line up their defense accordingly. And Brian Butterfield's job is to make sure everybody's standing in the right spot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Upstairs, full count. Johnny Damon's on deck. He's a left-handed hitter, but he wears out Ricky Romero. He is now 13 for 24 against Romero.
Tough to double up also. You want to get this guy right here. Pop up, a strikeout, maybe a ground ball to the right side where the runners can't advance.
And then you've got a little leeway to work to Johnny Damon. Got him. Marsden may have helped him out. Chased a high pitch. Romero's got the strikeout pitch working. That's 6 now for Ricky.
Fastball, curveball working tonight. This time he just goes right upstairs to get Marsden. Just knock the bat right out of your hand. If you're going to beat me, I'm going to beat you with my #1 pitch, and you're going to have to get on top of a good fastball.
But now he does have that open base to pitch carefully to Johnny Damon. 2 outs. Damon hits it sharply on the ground. Escobar across the diamond in plenty of time. Romero gets out of it. Indians leave a pair. So 1-0 ball game. Blue Jays top of the order when we come back. Brett Lawrie, Colby Rasmus, and the home run leader in baseball, Jose Bautista. Beautiful night here at Rogers Center. We're showing you that beautiful CN Tower because Pat and I were going to take an edge walk. It's the Edge Walk Challenge to benefit Jays Care Foundation. And we are going to walk around the CN Tower. It'll take place on Wednesday, July 25th. The 4 top donors in this campaign will also join us in that edge walk. And the top 20 donors plus 1 guest each will join us in a pregame meet and greet here at Rogers Center in a luxury suite. So there is some incentive to make a bid and help out the great charity cause, the Jays Care Foundation. But we will do that on July 25th. Brett Lawrie fouls it back. If you want more information, you can log on to bluejays.com/JaysCare and look up Buck and Pat and the Edge Walk and find out what these 2 knuckleheads are going to do walking on top of the CN Tower. Bouncing ball to third. Hanahan waits on it in time, and Lawrie has grounded out twice. 1 down here in the 4th. Let's check in with Jamie Kemble. Well, the Yankees are smoking. They are 7 games atop the AL East. 7 games ahead of Baltimore. 7.5 ahead of Tampa Bay. And they are threatening to run and hide.
Got some good news over the weekend. Maybe some bad news for the Blue Jays. Tuesday night, CC Sabathia will be starting for the Yankees.
CC Sabathia will be starting that game, and Jabba Chamberlain has started his rehab. They expect him to come back very soon. Brett Gardner, there's still no timetable for his return, but that's going to be a real boost for the Yankees' spirits, as if they needed one.
Andy
get CC back.
Andy Pettit's still a couple of weeks away from that broken ankle.
Colby Erasmus fouls it off. But Jabba Chamberlain is out on a rehab now. He's pitching in the minor leagues, and by all accounts, they expect him back in very short order. Erasmus pops it up over near the seats. Hanahan will watch it sail out of play. Boston Red Sox get some good news. Jacoby Ellsbury is back on the active roster tonight. He is in the lineup along with Will Middlebrooks, who's been hampered by a hamstring injury. They never put Middlebrooks on the DL, and they basically played short for a while because they felt like the All-Star break would give them an opportunity to get him healthy. So he's back, and Carl Crawford is back in a rehab situation in the minors as well.
He had to get shut down for a couple of days because of a groin injury. That, I think, is going to be a dangerous team in the second half. If Lester and Beckett start to pitch like they can, and they get Buchholz back and maybe Dice K back in the second half and get some of their everyday players, that could be a very dangerous team.
Clay Buchholz is coming back, I believe, this weekend to start for Boston. When you look at Buchholz, he's scheduled to start tomorrow in Tampa Bay against David Price. We will see Buchholz in the upcoming series in Boston. There's a ground ball. Santana, the first baseman, flips to Masterson. 2 ground ball outs, and Masterson has that sinker working here.
Yeah, when he does, it's tough to get the ball up in the air. He's got a 2-to-1 ground ball ratio to fly balls, which is the 3rd best in the American League. And when he's got that ball sinking like that, tough to get it in the air and get it over the fence.
8 ground ball outs so far for Masterson. He has 2 strikeouts and 1 out in the air. That's it. The only ball that's hit hard in the air was Edwin Encarnacion, drove a ball to the gap in right center. Bautista hits one back right to us, just over. Well, go back to opening day, Bautista and Masterson.
This is the one pitch that he did not get down. You saw that ball just spun over the middle of the plate. Then Bautista hit his first home run of the season. First run of the season by the Blue Jays.
It's hard to imagine he hit that home run on opening day and then hit just 2 more the entire month of April. Masterson wasn't going to leave that slider up out over the plate.
Pulled that baby right out of the strike zone. Was successful his first time up, just pumping fastball after fastball to Jose.
Boy, that's a wicked combination with that great sinker and that biting slider down and away. Bautista had a busy All-Star break. Home run contest Monday, All-Star game Tuesday, ESPY Awards on Wednesday. Not much rest. He said he had a good time in Kansas City. And Brian Abraham put on a good show for the baseball world.
That was a great show to watch him do what we get the pleasure of doing and watching every single day.
Full count. Sinker, he got the top half of that one and stays alive. Brian Abraham is the video coordinator for the Blue Jays, and he throws batting practice to the team on a regular basis. And Jose took Brian to the All-Star game as his batting practice pitcher for the home run derby. Here comes another sinker. On the ground. Big hop for Hanahan. Dustin Masterson has it working here in Toronto. Through 4 innings, it's 1-0. The Indians lead it. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Only one run in the game. That came in the top of the second on a Travis Hafner solo home run. Only 6 hits allowed by both of these pitchers so far. And tomorrow's starter, Aaron Laffey, will go up against his former team, the Cleveland Indians. It all begins tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Time. That's the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. It's also 9:30 Pacific. Game 2 of the 3-game set. Short 3-game stand here at Rogers Center. Blue Jays will wrap it up Sunday and then head to New York to take on the Yankees. Jack Hanahan, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. He struck out against Romero back in the second.
We're talking his first time up. He homered off of Romero on opening day, the big blow in that second inning. That's the only home run that Hanahan has hit this year off of the left-hander.
157 average coming into this game against lefty pitching. Just 8 for 51. Now 8 for 52 with the strikeout tonight. Hanahan had left calf problems and a lower back problem that sent him to the DL on May 27th. There's a strike. He's only played in 19 games since May 13th, and this was a guy that got off to a good start. Once again, injuries have disrupted his season.
They got a chance to see one of their better prospects, Lonnie Chisenhall, after Hanahan went down, and now he is hurt.
Ball is hit to center field, but Rasmus has his sights set on it and makes the catch. One down here, top of the 5th. Cleveland, Ohio, home of the Indians, and in Defiance, Ohio, last week there was a great discovery in an attic of a house of a stash of baseball cards that were printed in the early 1900s. And once they inspected them and got them checked out, they found out those baseball cards were worth about $3 million. Some of the cards including Ty Cobb and Hannes Wagner. Some great cards, and they were said to be in pristine shape.
In mint condition. Found them in one of the gentleman's grandfather's house. They took them in there, they thought maybe in the 30s.
That was awesome. You can imagine open up some old boxes and probably knock some dust off the top and say, I wonder what Grandpa has in this box. How about a couple of Ty Cobb cards and a Hannes Wagner card? But they said they were in mint condition, and they grade them on a scale of 1 to 10, and most of them were at least 7s. Pretty good.
Wow. Could you imagine that? What would you do with that?
Sell them?
I know it. Who do you call? What do you, what do, you do?
No, there's a lot of authenticating agencies, and they authenticated that they were indeed real and authentic. Right back to Romero. Two is retired, 2 down. So we got quite a pitching duel here at Rogers Center. As we mentioned, just 1 run on 6 hits in the entire ball game.
This is a lot like opening day. Romero had the 1 bad inning where he gave up 4 runs. Masterson was great at 8 innings, and they took him out, and Chris Perez came in, blew a save.
Chris Perez has had 2 blown saves all season long. Opening day and the final day of the first half. In between, he saved 24 straight.
And after he blew that game on opening day, it became historic.
16 innings, longest opening day game in the history of baseball. Perez, fresh off his second All-Star appearance. He was in Kansas City but did not pitch. On the ground, Laurie deep at third, all the way across the diamond in plenty of time. Ricky Romero has settled in nicely. He's retired 5 in a row. Brett Laurie, he's got the arm strength to play anywhere on the field. Gloves it, takes his time, and fires a strike across the diamond to Encarnacion. it's time for Inside the Numbers, brought to you by the Aspire Travel World MasterCard from Capital One. Take a closer look at some of the inside numbers, and this is batting average with balls in play. For the Blue Jays, Brett Lawrie, .325 average. That leads the team, but that's always impressive on the balls that he puts in play, and there's the top 5 for the Blue Jays.
Shows you that infield hits. Brett's gotten a lot of infield hits this year. Someone who has a low batting average with the ball in play could say that they might have had a little bit of bad luck, that they've hit a lot of line drives. So I think if you combine that with their fly ball percentage and their line drive percentage, it'll tell you a true story of what type of season that they're having.
Edwin Encarnacion.
But that is the average whenever they hit the ball. No walks, no strikeouts, none of that. Whenever they hit the ball, what is their batting average?
Sharply hit, but right to the third baseman. Masterson has allowed just one ball hit to the outfield, and that was Encarnacion back in the second when Michael Brantley ran it down in deep center field.
Yeah, he's making it look easy also. He's taking a little something off of that fastball and really upsetting the timing of some of these Blue Jay hitters. Throwing the fastball at one speed and then take a little something off of it, getting him out in front and getting those ground ball outs. And again, he's got the 3rd best ground ball percentage in the American League.
Got 10 ground ball outs already tonight. 1 fly ball and 2 strikeouts. That's it. It's like hitting a bowling ball. Doesn't go very far.
That's moving. That sinks on you. Those were always the tougher pitchers to hit against, the ones that had that great downward movement, because it was so hard to square up any of those pitches, meaning hitting it solidly. I'll take the guy throwing 100 miles an hour if it's straight. You can get wood on it.
Now, this is where the Blue Jays have to take advantage of Masterson's splits. We mentioned lefties have hit nearly 290 against him. Why has that been a problem for Masterson throughout his career, left-handed batters?
I think probably the biggest thing is that slider is taken away from him. He can't throw that slider in on the hands of some of those left-handers. Maybe he throws too many sinkers to him. That time he gets lit to chase a high fastball. But the reason he's so tough against the righties is he can throw that sinker in and then that slider away. To the lefty, he just doesn't have that pitch. I've watched him, though, tonight a couple of times. First to Rasmussen, then to Lind, and this at bat right here, trying to backdoor that slider, which is a good sign for the Indians. Not afraid to use it.
Bad sign for the Blue Jays. First pitch strike to Escobar. Masterson throws hard, and then you compound that with the late movement on his fastball and his deceptive delivery. All of those things have led to a lot of problems for righties this year. And once again, that's why it's so puzzling that he has a losing record. Ground ball. Kipnis from the shortstop side of second. And Santana can't dig it out of the dirt. They had a shot at Escobar. If Santana can dig the ball out of the dirt, Escobar is probably going to be out, but that's probably going to go as an infield hit.
You know, and it wasn't a very difficult pick over there at first base by Santana. The short hops are easy. Just get down and stay down. Right there, he just closed the glove just a little bit too quickly. Watch how he pulls the glove up instead of going out towards the baseball from where it's thrown.
It was an infield hit for Escobar. That's the 3rd hit for the Blue Jays. And brings another lefty hitter to the plate. And that ball gets away from Marson. Escobar into second, and now the tying runs in scoring position. So wild pitch charge to Masterson. And that's the kind of nasty stuff. Not only does he cause problems for hitters, but he's tough to catch.
Yeah, try catching it, especially when it gets away from him like that one did. That wild pitch is his 11th this season. Marson Johnson can't shift over and block it.
Comes back with a slider to Johnson. Bouncing ball. Kipnis comes after it. Got a good hop. And that infield hit and the wild pitch couldn't cause any problems for Justin Masterson. We've played 5 here. Ricky Romero and Masterson hooked up in a pitcher's duel. 1-0 Cleveland. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Great shot of downtown Toronto. CN Tower high above the Rogers Center. Toronto Blue Jays was established in 1977. And they would love to get back to the postseason. Second baseman Jason Kipnis ducks back from an inside hitter. Two and 0. Middle of the order for Cleveland. 3, 4, and 5. Travis Hafner is on deck. He has provided the only run of this ball game, a solo home run to start the second. 3 and 0. Aaron Sevilla with a trip to the mound after that 3 and 0 pitch.
Probably telling him to, hey, slow down just a little bit, take a little something off. That time it looked like Ricky humped up just a little bit and tried to throw that fastball through the catcher instead of to the catcher.
A 4-pitch walk. That's the way the 6th inning starts for Cleveland. Man on, nobody out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Couple of interesting clubs as far as the trade deadline when you talk about the Cubs and the Diamondbacks. Soriano's name has been mentioned, Matt Garza, Ryan Dempster, and then the other side of the diamond they're talking about Justin Upton, the 24-year-old outfielder.
Don't understand that one.
Upton's got a multi-year contract and he's owed a lot of money. I believe up over $30 million, and he's 24 years old. That's where it really becomes confusing.
How about this? How about the owner calling him out earlier this year? I think that's where that whole thing stems from. I wouldn't mind having him on my team. got a lot of talent.
He's a right fielder with speed and power and a good arm. And if you're thinking, well, the Jays have a right fielder who's pretty good. Yes, but I'm sure when you consider picking up a 24-year-old power hitting outfielder, you move the 24-year-old and say you're going to play left.
Yeah, you find a spot for him. Interesting defense for the Blue Jays now with that runner at first base and Hafner at the plate. Hafner can shoot the ball the other way. Blue Jays are playing him to pull.
There goes Kipnis, and he is going to be caught. Jason Kipnis is caught for just the second time this season, and that snaps a streak of 18 straight steals. Ricky Romero going to first. Kipnis moving on the first move by Romero.
Romero guesses right with Kipnis. Kipnis not really getting a good read there, and he talks about that. He says, I've been stealing bases, I've been getting better reads, but he's still not the master of it. Right there, Ricky Romero picked up on something and picked him off.
Ball and a strike. And now Brett Laurie can move deeper into right field as he plays against Hafner. There you see Laurie out in shallow right field. So Romero erases the leadoff walk. Deciding to stay firm against Travis Hafner after he hit that hanging breaking ball for a homer.
Ball's coming out of his hand a lot nicer tonight. A lot freer and a lot easier. There's some life on his pitches.
This ball is driven to left. Rajai Davis on the run, but it'll slice into the seats. Good crowd on hand here tonight at Rogers Center to open up this series. 32,308. Good job on the first Fan Friday of the summer. Start the program tonight. Next one will be July 27th. Fan Fridays includes a lot of activities outside gate 10 and 11 here at Rogers Center. It all starts at 4:30 in the afternoon. Friday nights this summer. Breaking ball around the inside edge.
I think those Friday summer things, they're going to be a lot of fun here. It looks like the fans are having a great time before the ball game outside.
Well, you have to admit this has been an interesting ball club to watch. They're still at 500 despite losing 3/5 of their starting rotation. Full count to Hafner. Popped it up. It's playable. Escobar, a long run from shortstop. He will get there in foul ground, and Hafner's retired. Boy, he hit that a mile high. They talked about this being the first of a series of Fan Fridays, and you can see what took place before the start of this game. They got the Muskoka chairs out there nicely. A little licensed area for the grown-ups, a lot of activities for the youngsters, and you can see it's created quite a crowd.
Yeah, live music. We saw the band out there. I think there are some stuff for all the kids and everybody involved. So I think this is going to be very popular. Start the weekend off on the right way.
Can't beat going to the ballpark and having a hot dog and then milling around outside, seeing a lot of your friends. So come on down the next Fan Friday, July 27th. Ricky Romero's done his part tonight. He held the Indians to 1 run on 4 hits, and unfortunately he's matched up against a equally tough Justin Masterson. Carlos Santana, the first baseman, has grounded out and walked tonight.
This guy just does not swing at borderline pitches. Very patient at the plate. 47 walks this year. He almost has as many walks as times that he has struck out this year.
Now the problem is, and I'll grant you, he does a good job of pitch selection, but he hasn't holbered since May 15th.
Green line him right here then.
Santana thought it might have been outside. I mean, that's a long drought for a guy in the middle of your order. You expect to provide a lot of offense.
Well, your cleanup hitter, I don't want him walking. I want him swinging the bat. And there are probably borderline pitches that you can still swing at and get hits with.
There have been a lot of borderline pitches that have ended up in the seats.
Yeah. I've talked to some big home run hitters, people like Manny Ramirez and Albert Bell, and they've talked about, well, maybe I will expand my strike zone to try and get more RBIs. And that's not being greedy. That's what they're being paid to do, to drive in runs.
Here's the payoff pitch to Santana. Fouls it off again. And you can see he's got plate coverage. He can get the pitches off the plate away. He's a switch hitter, so he doesn't have the normal problems of dealing with breaking balls going away from him.
And he's done it in the past.
They have tried to simplify his batting style, but that might create problems. You can see he lifts that front foot up, and then he's got a leg kick and timing issues, and a lot going on. He comes back and ends up with a 2-out single. Romero fell behind 3-0, and Santana works back to get on base with 2 outs.
Ball was up, and it probably would have been ball 4, but this is what we're talking about. Being a little bit more aggressive, and Santana certainly was there with that base hit.
Well, Michael Brantley, the center fielder, has had a good start to his night. Single in the second and a double in the fourth. His average up to 292. The reason he's hit 292 this season is because he's done a good job against lefties. He's now 30 for 106. Over 270 for his average against lefty pitching.
Well, he doesn't give it in. And what I mean by that is his front shoulder doesn't leak out against the left-handers. He's got good plate coverage. He can handle all those pitches. Bruce Walton's going to head out to the mound now to give Ricky Romero a little bit of a blow here.
Yeah, I think this is a timely visit by the pitching coach to go out there and just help Ricky catch his breath, regroup, and figure out the next pitch. You can see he's got a smile on his face, and we haven't seen that very often in the middle of a ball game. So Walton had something interesting for Ricky Romero, and now he can clear his mind and try to end this inning. Cleveland has won 10 of the last 14 games here in Canada, despite the fact that they've been outscored by the Blue Jays. So they have been a tough opponent for the Jays here at home. Brantley's 3 for 3. Santana had to hold up and let that ball go through, so he has no chance to advance.
Yeah, just like Justin Masterson looks like the best pitcher in baseball against the Blue Jays this season, Michael Brantley looks like the best hitter against the Blue Jays. Easily strokes that ball into right field for his 3rd hit.
He's been on everything. He's doubled to left just inside the bag past Brett Lorry, and now he's got his 2nd single to right. Lou Morrison, the catcher, has hit into a fielder's choice and struck out. Little tapper out in front of home. Romero got off the mound in good shape and retires Morrison to end the inning. Ricky Romero's hanging tough. Gives up a couple of 2-out hits, but then gets out of it and strands 2 more Indians. It's 1-0 Cleveland. Junior Jays Saturday, presented by Boston Pizza. Saturday, July 14th. Tomorrow, Blue Jays will take on the Indians. The game starts at 1:07 p.m. There are special kids prize tickets in the 200 and 500 level outfield seats. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Junior Jays Saturday, always a hit with the kids. Ricky Romero gets a handshake from the pitching coach, Bruce Walton. That generally indicates the game is over for Romero, but what a good start for Ricky. He trails 1-0, but he held the Indians to a run on 6 hits. Only one pitch he'd like to have back was the hanging breaking ball he threw to Travis Hafner in the second.
His highest strikeout game, if this is the finishing touches of this one, you have to go all the way back to May 29th in a start against Baltimore when he had 7 strikeouts.
Yeah, this was a good one. And basically, 2 good ones in a row. Going back to Saturday in Chicago against the White Sox. Rajai Davis needs to get on. 3-1 count. 1-0 ball game. You need his speed on the bases. How about this line drive left field? Just foul. He didn't need his speed on the bases. He was trying to tie it up.
Yeah, he was going to try and use those speed around the bases for a home run. That's Tom Hallia, the crew chief, who calls it foul. He is just a little bit ahead of this pitch. Watch him get out. He's got plenty of distance, and right at the last second, it hooks foul, clearly foul, down the left field line. Boy, you want to have those back right there. A 3-1 fastball where you're just a little bit too early.
On that pitch, yeah, hit it hard, but foul again.
Rajai's power is up this year because he's doing a little something that Edwin Encarnacion is doing. He's holding on to the bat with 2 hands, using 2 hands to get through that strike zone.
Masterson comes back and strikes Davis out. 4th strikeout of the evening for Masterson. That's the first out, bottom 6.
That one registered 92, 93 miles an hour. Took a little something off and got a little bit more movement. And you can see the timing of the swing by Rajai just a little bit out in front.
Masterson looks just the same as he did opening day. In that opening day performance, he went 8 innings, allowed just 2 hits, a single run, and struck out 10. JP, a single to right.
Save during the plumbing, cooling, and electrical sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Friday night here at Rogers Center. Back to the top of the order. 1 out, Aaron Sebia at first. Bouncing ball, foul. This is not the perfect matchup for the Blue Jays to play hit and run. But a lot of things line up that calls for that. Aaron Sebia doesn't have great speed, but Masterson has kept the ball on the ground all night long. It might create a hole for Brett Laurie.
Yeah, he has now thrown 14 double play, ground ball double plays. Just to avoid staying out of another one, you could start the runner.
Well, the managers think about all the fundamentals that go into a move like this. On-deck batter is left-handed. Colby Erasmus. Masterson has had trouble with lefty hitters all year. So Marsden and Masterson's talking about the next pitch. John Farrell has proven to be a gambler. He'll start runners in tight games just to create something.
Get somebody moving. It also helps the batter. Really makes him concentrate on that sinking fastball.
Bounce to third. Bobbled by Hanahan. Cross the diamond just in time. Boy, he made a good decision. Once he bobbled the baseball, no chance to go to second. So he goes across the diamond and gets Laurie.
You know, and if he thought about it for a split second more, Brett Laurie was going to beat that ball out. Hannah had an excellent fielder at third base. The ball comes up on him a little bit. Doesn't even look to second base then. He knows that he's got to hurry and get that ball across the diamond because here comes Brett Laurie. Very quick. Never takes a play off. And he beats it, or he doesn't beat it out, but he almost does.
So now Colby Erasmus, who has grounded out to first base twice, and before we get a pitch, we're going to have another conference between Masterson and Marson. Boy, you can see Masterson has worked up a sweat. His uniform top is soaked through. It's a muggy night down on the field, and he's put forth a lot of effort here tonight.
It's two different colors. That top, that shirt is dark gray, in the pants you can see a little bit lighter, all that perspiration.
So Colby Rasmus up with a chance to tie the game up at least. Aaron Sebia running with 2 outs at second. They mentioned that Rasmus grounded to first both times up. They have really concentrated on pounding him inside. Bruce Walton talking to Ricky Romero.
They've also thrown some breaking balls early in the count to Rasmus. He's getting around that he jumps that first ball fastball. If they want to pound him inside, I say go for it. I think that might feed right into Colby Rasmus.
Well, there's a lot of sink. He's lost a little velocity, but the sink has improved dramatically. As he has worn down, the velocity has dropped down to 91, 92, but the sink is magnified.
That's right. You see the one about thigh high, you got to let it go. Look for that ball up.
Got a pretty good pitch to hit. That high slider for a strike. Bautista looms on deck.
Let's see him try and sneak the fastball by him right here.
He tried to, but missed. Early in this ballgame, Masterson was 96-97. We're pitching here in the 6th inning. He's focused more on movement than velocity.
You know, against this team, the Cleveland Indians, you got to get the lead before the 6th inning is over because they have a bullpen. The last couple of innings are locked down.
Smith, Pestano, and Chris Perez. The breaking ball was fouled off. Yeah, those 3 guys are back in the bullpen. Have been lights out. Chris Perez, we mentioned a streak of 24 straight saves converted. He blew one opening day against the Blue Jays and blew one on Sunday against Tampa Bay. Another trip to the mound, obviously a very important point of the ball game, and nothing left to chance. Johnny Damon's in left. He has an outfield assist. Played 41 games. Brantley has 4 from center field, and Chu's got the best arm. He throws very well, although he only has 2 assists. But the word is out.
Yeah.
You don't challenge his arm and run.
Yeah, he can run. He had 14 outfield assists a couple of years ago.
Full count, 2 outs. Popped up, playable. Hanahan in foul ground. The inning is over. So those timely meetings between the catcher and the pitcher pay off. Justin Masterson gets out of a situation. Lou Marston's done a great job with him. Ricky Romero will leave, trailing 1-0. Now it's time for the farm report. Anthony Ghost last Sunday in the Futures game made a phenomenal catch in the outfield. And that wasn't the end of it. He popped to his feet, made a strong throw to first base just a little bit late. But you look at his numbers over the last 10 games. This guy is knocking on the door to the big leagues.
Yeah, getting closer and closer and closer to the big leagues. A .390 on-base percentage over his last 10 games. You put it all together this season. He's played in 88 games. He's scored 76 runs. He has 9 triples, 29 stolen bases, .373 on-base percentage. Plays center field. He's got a great arm. He's got great speed. And a guy you could put at the top of the lineup someday, I think, for the Blue Jays. But you're right. He's knocking on the door. He's going to be here quickly.
Not that that means Colby Rasmus is in jeopardy by any means. Rasmus has had a great season. New pitcher is Jason Frazier. First pitch to Johnny Damon is outside. Frazier making his 40th appearance of the season. He's handled lefties and righties equally well.
Jason was awarded the victory, his first win of the season, in that last game before the All-Star break. If you remember that one, Brett Cecil went 4 1/3 inning. Chavez just 2/3 of an inning. Perez threw an inning and then was injured. Jason Frazier came into the game, got a couple of strikeouts, threw an inning, and was awarded his first W of the season.
That most effective job of relief for the Blue Jays, and that time they took the lead, and then Darren Oliver came out like he's done all year long. He had a clean inning, gave up a hit and struck out 2, and of course Casey Jansen. What a job by Jansen, a 5-out save to keep his save streak intact at 12 straight saves converted. Jansen's done a great job as the closer, taking over for Sergio Santos, who, by the way, is reported to be close to throwing off the mound this weekend. And it's been a slow process for Santos. 3-1 to Damon. Hit hard on the ground, backhanded by Escobar, and he's not going to get Damon. Hit it in the right spot. Second hit for Damon. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Doug Fister on the mound for Detroit, and don't look now, but here come the Tigers. They're starting to put together a second half surge, and Detroit 3.5 back in the Central, trailing Chicago and these Cleveland Indians. And you just know that they're going to do something. I mean, when they went out, brought in Prince Fielder after they found out Victor Martinez was out for the season, you know they're going to try to improve their ball club.
They have money and they have prospects, top-end prospects in AAA that they can dangle if they need some more.
There goes Damon. A hit and run was on, and Hanahan fouled it off. They could give up a guy like Andrew Oliver, give up a guy like Jacob Turner, 2 young pitching prospects, get a veteran in return. Mike Gillett, the owner of the Tigers, is not concerned with long-term results.
Meaning?
He wants a winner.
Yeah. And he's got the money to do it.
We should start a pizza chain.
We're already doing the Sky Edge walk, just one thing at a time.
And after the hit and run, was asked to bunt, and he fouls it out of play. So now Frazier is ahead of Hanahan, 0-2. Damon with an infield single. But Damon just continues to wear out the Blue Jays. That's what Pat was talking about. Buck and Pat will take the Edge Walk Challenge for Jays Care Foundation. Log on to BlueJays.com/EdgeWalk to get more information. And you can join us up there. If you are one of the top 4 donors, you get to walk around that place with us. What a thrill.
Well, the one sentence I've learned today, trust your rope.
There goes Damon again. Strike out, and Aaron Sebia drops the ball. It's a stolen base for Damon, a strikeout for Frazier. And now Johnny Damon's in scoring position at second. His 4th steal in as many attempts.
Well, they got to get that runner in the scoring position. They tried a hit and run. They tried a bunt. And now they try a steal. Arancibia cannot come up with the ball, and Damon picks up the stolen base. Manny Acta knows how important that run is out at second base.
There's a real problem for Jason Frazier. Shin-Soo Choo has a .343 average against right-handed pitching. One nothing ball game. Frazier gets ahead. Johnny Damon still has the wheels, and he's a great instinctive base runner. Escobar shadowing him at second, trying to cut down his lead.
That's not a bad idea. Get right behind him and keep him close to second base. If there is a base hit in the outfield, give the outfielders a chance to throw Damon out at the plate.
Well, the Indians have the luxury of being able to gamble. They have a 1-0 lead. So if there is a base hit to the outfield, Johnny Damon can be sent home. Good cut by Choo. Frazier's ahead 1-2. Mentioned today is Shin-Soo Choo's birthday. Turns 30 years old today. Frazier would love to blow out his candles. Right here.
Blow out his bat too. Frazier's done a good job of that, of keeping those runners from scoring.
And Choo did a good job of cutting down his swing and putting the bat on the ball.
I tell you, he was very close to balking right there again.
Didn't stop.
Yep. He got caught and called for one of those earlier
in his last outing on Sunday.
Yeah, where he didn't stop, and he almost did it again. You've got to come to a stop before you head home. Watch how he brings it up. That time much better.
And he was probably aware of it too. Pitchers know what they're doing, and they try to disrupt the timing by using that quick pitch. And he was called for it on Sunday before the All-Star break. Chasen showing what the All-Star break did for him. He got that ball up to 95.
Yeah, he gets a couple of days rest, and that fastball really explodes towards home. Both Frazier and Arancibia know how important that run is there at second base.
Off-speed pitch. He was out in front.
Not taking any chances with Johnny Damon stealing signs.
Well, Johnny Damon's been around a long time, and he knows it only takes him a few pitches to either pick up on where the catcher is setting up to give the hitter location, or to decode the sequence of pitches. Ground ball up the middle. Escobar to first, and Frazier's lucky he didn't hit that ball. He kicked at it, but he missed it. Had he kicked at it, no telling where that ball goes. Had he hit it,
yeah, that ball would ricochet probably somewhere around the mound, and with Choo's speed, he would have beaten it out. This is right over the rubber, and this is why you've got those type of scouting reports right there. You've got your shortstop to make the out.
Shortstop Asdrubal Cabrera has gone 0 for 3 so far. Damon now at third base. He moved there on the ground out. Dangerous first ball hitter. He'll be all geared up for that first pitch. So they go with a breaking ball and get ahead.
Very smart. Take a little something off right there. This is where he's really got to stop. That was another one that was very close. You talk about Cabrera and driving and run. Very good with runners in scoring position again this year, up over 300.
So they've gone slider changeup. And you don't want to fall into a pattern of throwing the next pitch in the sequence where it would be a fastball. Cabrera would be all over that.
He has come up with some very big hits for the Indians this year. 11 home runs, 42 driven in.
Boy, he was looking for something else and got a good fastball to hit.
And it took him by surprise, didn't it?
So Frazier's got a chance to get out of this inning. Jason got a good fastball. He's ahead 1-2. Damon at third with 2 outs. Where do you go here? 2-2.
Cabrera's a good fastball hitter. I think you throw that split change right here. I take my chances that you've thrown a couple of fastballs to him now. Maybe you can catch him out in front.
It's like they're coming inside. Tied him up. He fouled that ball off his leg.
His back leg.
His thigh.
Yeah.
Don't see that very often.
Other times you'll see foul ball off the foot or the ankle. Watch where this one goes. Right off of the back thigh. You can see him grimace a little bit and go right to that area. Ball then went right between his legs.
Trainer out just to give him some time to gather himself. Not much you can do about that. Just hope the pain subsides a little bit so you can focus once again. It's a 1-0 ball game, and it's been a whale of a ball game. Ricky Romero and Justin Masterson, the starters in this game, and they were both great. But Masterson has a 1-0 lead. Took a shot at the outside corner. Another tough lefty on deck in Jason Kipnis.
And they're all his. There's nobody warming up in the bullpen. Now a lefty has grabbed the ball and he's just starting to throw. It looks like Luke.
Cabrera expanded his zone and stays alive. $32,308 fans on hand here at Rogers Center. Full count. Popped him up on the infield. Encarnacion doesn't see it. Frazier doesn't see it. Now Encarnacion came down and stayed with it. But he couldn't pick it up. The lights haven't taken full effect. But Encarnacion stayed with it and makes the grab. Bautista will lead things off. Edwin Encarnacion, Adam Lynn. Meat of the order. Jays down by 1. Jose Bautista takes a first pitch strike from Justin Masterson. Bautista, Encarnacion, and Lynn.
You can feel some energy in the ballpark right now with Bautista and Encarnacion coming up this inning. They want to see him light up the scoreboard.
Bautista has 2 home runs against Masterson. Tonight he is struck out and grounded out. But Masterson has 12 ground ball outs tonight. Sinker's working. Driven to center field. Brantley on the run, and he'll get there in front of the 400-foot sign. Baseball Central at noon on the Fan 590. Get your daytime baseball fix with Sam Cosentino and Dirk Hayhurst on Baseball Central at noon. Weekdays on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, and right here on Rogers Sportsnet. Dirk Hayhurst is filling in the radio booth, working with Jerry Howard during this 3-game series. Interesting guy, and certainly has a different outlook on a lot of things. But boy, he's got a good baseball background and seems to be interested in the broadcasting.
We got to visit with him over dinner tonight. Said he was very nervous. And I said, nervous for going on the air, nervous having to work with Jerry.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
A little of both. Edwin Encarnacion chases the off-speed pitch. It's 2-1. That's a nice addition. The Baseball Central at noon. A chance to see it simulcast on Rogers Sportsnet. Jerry Howard and Dirk Hayhurst. Tom Young, the engineer. 3-1 to Encarnacion. Bautista and Encarnacion, the only 2 to hit the ball to the outfield.
He stung it hard, both of them to center field.
Masterson doing a nice job of going back and forth with his velocity. You can see Encarnacion got a handful of bees on that.
I was going to say 3-1. This is a good time to cheat right here, but you can see Masterson took a little something off, and he had Edwin way out in front of that sinking fastball.
Encarnacion will walk. A 1-out walk issued by Masterson. That's the first walk he has given up tonight. And again, another left-hander strides to the plate, Adam Lynn. Aaron Cunningham has taken over in left for Johnny Damon defensively. Lind singled into center his first time up. He also struck out on a high fastball. It drives this one toward left. That's going to get down in front of Cunningham. And Encarnacion moves up to second base. Lind is 2 for 3. Here come the Jays.
That's a good approach right there by Adam Lynn. His approach at the plate, staying on that sinker and shooting at the left field. Watch this ball go down and away. Doesn't try and pull that. If he tries to pull that, that's going to be a double play ball. Stays right with it, dumps it in front of Cunningham. So Adam's night is over.
Former Indian Ben Francisco comes off the bench and takes over as a pinch runner at first. The Indians bullpen is going to work as Scott Radinsky, the pitching coach, is out to talk to Justin Masterson. But Tony Sipp, the left-hander, and Joe Smith, the right-hander, begin to loosen up.
This is the part of the ball game that we were talking about where the Indians have been so good. The 6th, 7th, and 8th inning.
You can see Radinsky, a very relaxed conversation. Saying, listen, you've been throwing ground balls all night. Throw one more and get yourself out this inning.
Now that's a pitching coach.
And he's got a good candidate at the plate in Yunel Escobar. Escobar has already grounded out to a 6-4-3 double play in the second. He also has an infield single. It's a lot of balls on the ground.
And he has hit into a lot of ground ball double plays. 14 of them now this year.
Encarnacion at second. Pinch runner Ben Francisco at first. A 1-0 ball game. Escobar late on that fastball. They talked about the throwing arms in the outfield. Cunningham is a much better thrower than Johnny Damon, who's he has replaced. He's in left. Brantley has 4 assists in center, and Chu has 2 from right. 0-2. We have seen Masterson twice this season, and the last thing he looks like is a 5-8 pitcher. And that's his record coming into this game tonight.
Hard to believe when you watch and you see the things that he has done against the Blue Jays this year. 10 strikeouts and just 2 hits the first time, and then 4 strikeouts and no runs here in the 7th inning. Only run he has given up to the Blue Jays this year so far was the home run to Bautista on opening day. That's 15 innings.
Thrown 101 pitches. Escobar behind 0-2. Strike 3 call. Breaking ball gets Escobar. It's 5 strikeouts now for Dustin Masterson.
Breaking ball, looks like from that angle caught a lot of plate. Lou Marzan stepped way outside. It wasn't low. You see that about belt high, but Escobar thought it was off the plate.
Kelly Johnson has singled. Goes after the first pitch, and Cabrera will go to the bag and beat Francisco in a foot race. Kelly Johnson hit it hard, but Masterson once again strands 2 more. Blue Jays have left 5 on in this 1-0 ball game. Now it's time for the Smart Play, brought to you by Budweiser. Why not grab some buds? Please enjoy responsibly.
Let's go back to the top of the 6th inning after a leadoff walk to Jason Kipnis. He's going to be picked off at first base by Ricky Romero. And the Smart Play goes to Edwin Encarnacion, who creates an angle or a lane to throw to get Kipnis at second base. If he catches that ball by the bag, there's nowhere for him to throw the baseball to Escobar to get the out at second base. And that turned to be a big play, because there were 2 more singles in the inning. A Smart Play tonight goes to Edwin Encarnacion.
He's really played well over at first base. This is his 37th start at first base. He's been charged with just 1 error. And he made a tough play to end the last half inning. Pop-up off the bat of Asdrubal Cabrera. He didn't see initially. Held his hand out to the side in frustration because he couldn't find it, but stayed with it and made the catch. Aaron Oliver in the game for the 37th time. He has been nearly automatic this year.
Yeah, check that whip out, 0.92. He's giving up less than a base runner an inning. His strikeouts are up high, averaging about a strikeout an inning, and he does it with smarts. He moves that ball all around the quadrants of the strike zone. He takes a little something off, puts a little something on.
Kipnis, Hafner, and Santana, 2 lefties and a switch hitter for the Indians. Boy, just like that, Oliver's ahead 0-2. Flips up a couple breaking balls. One's a little slower than the first one, and he's ahead.
He can cut the ball if he wants to, and throw a slider or fastball off the plate. See if he can get Kipnis to swing at something out of the strike zone.
Just missed that outside corner with the fastball. You got to believe with that non-waiver wire deadline coming up July 31st that Blue Jays have gotten some calls on Darren Oliver.
Well, I think he could certainly help anyone if they are interested.
Well, the one thing he has is pedigree. 6 straight years in the postseason. He has proven to be reliable. You know what you're going to get. He's played with Texas and Angels, 2 of the teams in contention in the AL West.
Doesn't get rattled. He pitched in big ball games before. So yeah, you're right. I think he would draw a lot of interest. And he's left-handed.
A lot of speculation about who's going to pull the trigger on a big deal. Zach Greinke has been targeted by a lot of teams as somebody that might be available given his status as a free agent at the end of this year. How about Greinke tonight making his 3rd straight start? I mean, like 3 games in a row.
That's a record. He started the game. Let me get my bearings here. Let's see.
July 7th.
Is that Saturday?
That was Friday. No, you're right.
That's Saturday.
Saturday.
Got thrown out in the first inning.
Yep.
They came back and pitched him on Sunday then, the day before the All-Star game. And now he gets his 4 days and bam, there he is again.
Just missed the outside corner. Zach Greinke is starting in Milwaukee tonight. How about this? He's perfect 15-0 at Miller Park as a Brewer. Boy, those are 2 tough pitches to lay off of. Kipnis took a couple of close ones. So Kipnis with back-to-back leadoff walks his last 2 at-bats.
Well, this is always a great shot right here. That is a tough pitch for a young hitter to lay off of.
Kipnis walked in the 6th. He was caught stealing. Ricky Romero went to first base as Kipnis broke to second. That was the smart play we just showed you. Encarnacion made a good throw to second. Nobody out. Travis Hafner. Kipnis has 20 steals. Hafner has not had any fun facing Darren Oliver. These 2 have matched up 8 times. He's 0 for 8. Pretty significant when you consider 1 at bat a series, maybe.
Yeah, or a lefty specialist left on left against Hafner. Got the impression right there from that swing that he was trying to hit the ball the other way. It looked like he was staying on as long as possible.
Ground ball. Laurie at second goes to short for 1. Back to first. Pretty double play. Now Brett Laurie, with his athleticism, came after that ball quickly. Fired to Escobar at second, who turned the double play.
Yeah, and I think Oliver picked up on after trying to go the other way, so he takes a little something off and he yanks it right into that shift. And that's easy for the Blue Jays. An easy double play turn.
First baseman Carlos Santana. He's gone 1 for 2 with a walk. Santana singled to center field his last time up against Ricky Romero. Oliver, the 3rd Blue Jay pitcher of the night. Romero went 6. Gave up the only run in the ball game. Jason Frazier came on in the 7th. Gave up a leadoff infield hit, but pitched around it. Tried to get Santana to fish for that one outside. Oliver didn't want much to do with Santana. Had a lefty coming up in Michael Brantley, and he walks him with 2 outs.
Save during the plumbing, cooling, and electrical sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Santana at first with the walk. Michael Brantley has been perfect tonight. There goes Santana. Breaking ball, throw to second in plenty of time. The element of surprise didn't catch the Blue Jays. Aaron Seeley with a strong throw. That keeps it a 1-0 game. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Good crowd on hand trying to rally the Blue Jays. They trail 1-0 as they bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. Indians have made some defensive changes. Mentioned Aaron Cunningham came into left last inning. Now Casey Kochman takes over at first base for Carlos Santana. And Justin Masterson, his night has come to an end. They'll turn things over to the bullpen. Vinny Pestano has been great. Right-handers hitting 109 against him. He is into the ball game for the 39th time this year.
A little bit different type of pitcher than Justin Masterson. Pestano comes right after. He's got a nice cut fastball, nice breaker ball, good hard fastball. He's first in Major League Baseball and the American League with 23 holds. 12th in relief ERA. You see his ERA at 1.75. He has done an outstanding job for the Cleveland Indians, pitching in front of Chris Perez this year.
Rajay Davis. 8-9-1 for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 8th. And CB on deck. Davis hits it to right, but Chu's got a beat on it. One down. Cleveland Indians have a good record with one-run games. Look back to opening day. Aaron CBM was 16th.
Yeah, it started as a day game and ended as a night game. On that hit right there, hanging breaking ball. We've seen that all season long. J.P. and CB can handle that breaking ball.
So 1-0 ball game. Mentioned the Cleveland Indians are 12-5 in one-run games. Represents how good their bullpen is. That's the second best record in the American League for one-run games. Baltimore is 16-6. Flip side of that is the Blue Jays are 5-12.
Yeah, they are not very good. You were talking about that Cleveland-Toronto matchup since 2008 and how the Indians have had their way here at Rogers Center, winning 10 times out of 14 games. They are a perfect 4-0 in those one-run games against the Blue Jays. Manny Acta has pulled the right strings for his team in this ballpark.
Good cut by Aaron Sebia. Pestano has improved with each month of the season. Opponents hit .216 against him in April, 171 in May, 121 in June. Pestano has a simple approach. He says, I try to strike everybody out. It's working. He's got a funky delivery just like Masterson.
Yeah, that long arm swing. When he goes back, he cuts the ball a little bit more. A good fastball.
94 on the heater, and Aaron Sebia fouls it out of play.
Here's that delivery you were talking about. It's short and sweet. You can see the long arm swing. He knows he's just got one inning. He can just go out there and throw the ball as hard as he can for that inning.
94, but it's outside.
Got a little natural cutting action on his fastball, too.
Blue Jays with just 5 hits. Three and two. Brett Lawrie has grounded out 3 times tonight. He's on deck. Pestano strikes out Aaron Sebia, 2 down. Brett Lawrie has gone 0 for 3, as we mentioned. Boy, that's a crossfire fastball with late movement away.
He's another one tough to get the ball in the air. He's only given up 2 home runs this year in his 36 innings. With that nice cutting action on that fastball.
Lawrie with a home run cut.
Well, you can see how right-handers have had problems picking up the ball against Pestano this year. Short arms it. And then throws hard. It's only given up 7 hits all season long to a right-handed batter.
Tonight, right-handers are 0 for 2 against Pestano. And now for the season, they are 7 for 66. Casey Jansen appears to be loose and standing by. Top of the 9th, Brantley, Marson, and Aaron Cunningham, the scheduled batters. Two balls, 2 strikes on Brett Lawrie. Strike 3 call. Fastball on the outside corner. Pestano comes in and retires the Blue Jays in order with a couple of strikeouts. We'll go to the 9th. Casey Jansen on in a 1-0 ball game. Sportsnet magazine celebrates the 20th anniversary of the Blue Jays' historic 1992 World Series in a special 90-page issue. Enjoy all the stories from memories of the members of the legendary team. Sportsnet magazine, a special edition available on newsstands throughout the 2012 season. Back-to-back World Series title, and you can read all about the 92 World Series in that Sportsnet 20th anniversary special edition.
Got to read that over the All-Star break. Brought back a lot of memories. Casey Janssen in to pitch for the Blue Jays. Third reliever of the night for Toronto. Janssen has been outstanding this year. This guy has been painting since he has been moved into that closer's role. By painting, I mean he has put everything on the corners of the plate. Hasn't really given the hitter a chance to get a hit.
Brantley has 3 hits tonight. That's the 5th time he's collected 3 hits in a ball game. He's had 1 4-hit game this year. That came against the Red Sox back in May in Fenway.
Those 2 strikes are unhittable pitches.
Quality strikes.
Yep.
He's been doing it all year long.
And now as a reliever, a 1-inning reliever, he can just give it everything he's got for that 1 inning.
Boy, what a job. Cutter on the outside corner, and that dispatches Michael Brantley 1 out. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected. Here's Brad Fay and Jamie Thomas. Team USA basketball team getting prepared for the Olympics. Lost Blake Griffin to a knee injury. Lots of news, and you'll see it all on Connected coming right up.
And they're saying that that team is better than the Dream Team from 20 years ago?
Everybody except Michael Jordan. He didn't say that.
Competitive spirit, right?
Yeah, Michael Jordan came out last week after hearing somebody on that team suggested it was the best team ever assembled. And so, wait a minute. We had, what they say, we had 11 Hall of Famers on that team?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was the best team, that Dream Team from '92.
Broken bat flare down the right field line. Bautista over quickly to cut it off. Drew Marson. That was his first hit of the night. Indians with 8 hits now. They've out-hit the Blue Jays. 8-5.
What a play by Bautista as he hustles over and gets that ball, smothers it, and then gets it back accurately to second base. No chance for Marson to turn that into a double.
Aaron Cunningham came on defensively for Johnny Damon in the 7th. He'll bat for the first time. Casey Janssen, I asked him what he was going to do for the All-Star break. He said, I'm going to relax for a couple of days, and then I'm going to throw Wednesday and Thursday. He said, this is my job. We're in the midst of a season, and I owe it to myself and my team to stay ready. So he came to the ballpark Wednesday and threw, and then got more throwing in during the voluntary workout on Thursday.
Well, you can tell he didn't sit around. He's got a good fastball, like he always has had. This guy works hard. You see him in the clubhouse all the time. He's doing exercises or stretches, things like that to keep himself ready.
He had a 5-out save on Sunday in Chicago. He came in the 8th inning in an 11-9 game and struck out Paul Konerko on a curveball, and then got Alex Rios to fly out to center.
That was a beauty, wasn't it, that game? Had a little bit of everything in it. 24 hits and 20 runs.
A ball and 2 strikes. Perfect pitch. 2 strikeouts for Jansen in the inning.
Romero had 6 strikeouts. Jason Frazier picked up on it. Now Casey cuts that fastball on the inner half to pick up his 2nd strikeout. And you just can't pull the trigger. It surprises you.
Third baseman Jack Hanahan struck out twice and flied out. He's 0 for 3. Chris Perez, the closer, appears to be ready. He has been throwing. Blue Jays have picked up a blown save. Have saddled Perez with a blown save back on the opener in April. 1 of 2 that he has blown this year. Bouncing ball. Escobar to first. Jansen does his job again. Gives up a hit but strikes out a pair. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. It's a 1-0 game. Last chance for the Jays. Colby Erasmus will start things off. Jose Bautista. Edwin Encarnacion. Top of the order. Lots of danger. Bottom of the 9th inning. Cleveland leads 1-0. They mentioned their record in 1-run games. They are 12-5. That's the 2nd best record in 1-run games in the American League. And their great closer, Chris Perez, on. He is 24 for 26. And Blue Jays had one of those blown saves credited to them on opening day.
And that's 92% overall average against 230. You see it right there, whip of 1.1. Strikeouts 9.7 per 9 innings. save opportunities, when you break it down, he has had 7 chances.
Kobe Erasmus goes after the first pitch and got under it. Brantley calls for it, makes the catch in front of the scoreboard in deep right center.
Just missed it. Chris Perez has had 7 opportunities to have a 1-run save, and he's a perfect 7 for 7. If he's going to get it tonight, he's got to go right through the heart of the Blue Jay batting order. Rasmus just missed that first pitch fastball. Just got under it slightly.
Jose Bautista had a sacrifice fly against Chris Perez in that season opening game. There he was trying to tie it up with one swing of the bat. Blue Jays scored 3 in the 9th to tie that game up. Bautista with a sac fly to center, and then Edwin Encarnacion hit a 2-run double off the wall and left. All they need now is 1 to tie. The appeal of the first, and Chad Fairchild said he went around.
Perez comes after you with basically a fastball slider, and everything is hard. This is his breaking ball. Let's see if Bautista goes around. Yes. No argument there.
94, but outside. The best one-on-one confrontation in sports.
Power versus power. Power pitcher in Perez, power hitter in Bautista.
Ground ball to short, Cabrera. Bautista is out. That's 2 down. We mentioned Encarnacion's 2-run double back in April. That was his only hit in 3 at-bats against Chris Perez. Blue Jays down to their final out.
Home run cut right there by Encarnacion.
Marzen, not leaving anything for chance, sat off the plate outside when he called for that slider.
Yeah. And if he throws him a fastball, I think he's going to have to make Encarnacion reach for it. Perez has a little bit of life on that fastball where it comes back over the plate. Encarnacion looking for a mistake, something that he can lift into the air.
1-2. Up and away.